the start of race 33. The final day 1 men 1000 meters. Lane 1 Algeria. Lane 2 Ukraine. Lane 3 Slovakia. Lane 4 Uruguay. Lane 5 Slovenia. Lane 6 Portugal. Lane 7 Austria and lane 9 Algeria. 5 minutes to the start. Four minutes to the start of race 33. The final day 1 man 1000 meters. 4 minutes to the start. Three minutes to the start of race 33. The final day 1 man 1000 meters. Lane 1 Algeria. Lane 2 Ukraine. Lane 3 Slovakia. Lane 4 Uruguay. Lane 5 Slovenia. Lane 6 Portugal. Lane 7 Austria. Lane 9 Algeria. 3 minutes to the start.
And welcome to Montemor-o-Velho in Portugal for the first ICF Sprint World Cup of the 2017 season. And it's a new Olympic cycle starting, so a lot of anticipation going on. 270 athletes from 28 nations are competing here at the High Performance Centre, about 20 kilometres inland. We've struggled all week with the wind. The good news today is the conditions are flat. As ever, I'm Matthew Layton, joined by Lisa Carrington, double Olympic champion, who's been on the water a few minutes ago. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, good morning.
Conditions, I'm saying they're quite good, but you literally just come off the water.
I have. It is amazing out there today. The sun is shining. There's a bit of a tailwind there, which everyone will love to have.
So as you can see, not much there. Officially the temperature's 17, looking to rise quite a bit. We do have this saying 16 meters per second, or seems a bit fast. We'll have to actually see how it goes. But no, it's been a real challenge for the last couple of days. This is the program we're going to be showing you in the next hour or so. So we have 3 medal ceremonies. More importantly, we have 8 finals. We're concentrating on the longer distances, so it's the 1,000 meters and the 500 meters today. But we're going to see a good selection: 3 canoe races, 5 kayak races, and some really interesting formats, because we do have some Olympic champions competing. We also have quite a lot of newcomers and quite a lot of, not being rude, but second and third string athletes from their country perhaps. Here you can see on the line we have the 8 athletes. There hasn't been heats or qualifications for this. They've all come straight through, so we're firing blind here. We will interesting to see who comes out. Lizzie Broughton, she's not going to get tired because she's done 125 miles before. She's done the Devise to Westminster race, and that should be looking to get some pace on here. As we see going down them is Raquel da Costa from Spain. Spain have got quite a big team out here. We've seen Pauline Pole from Finland. She's been in a couple of events this weekend to be to see how she goes through. Feel free to point in when you have some observations.
No, I'm sure at the start here, 1,000 metres, it'll be nice for them to have a tail today. It'll be a little bit quicker than usual, which will be nice. And always not being a bit longer than our usual Olympic events, these girls will have some great fitness.
There's a bit of I can't really call it a crowd yet, but there's a few enthusiastic people going to be turning up, and Marta Pinte from Portugal will be relying on that. So far it's been a bit sparse, but hopefully today we'll have a good turnout. The organisation's first class as ever. Lizzie Burton from England, I say she's a specialist in the distance event, so it's not going to be phasing her. Dora Bodogni, she has a victory Copenhagen 2 years ago in the World Cup. She came first in the 1,000 metres, so a bit of a pedigree, and looked really strong a couple of years ago. Mexico, we've got Karina Morales, and finally Miriam Varga from Spain again. So good international field. Not Olympians, but who knows for the future.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is a really good race to get out there and have some practice. So still a really tough event, so it'll be great to see how these girls go today.
And as you have just mentioned, there's a slight tailwind. So yesterday it was all about not falling out of the boat, as I can see.
Yeah, that's right. It was a tailwind, side wind yesterday. So today they'll be able to get some smooth run. They won't be wasting any energy on a side.
And let's see how they're going. They probably won't be challenging Tennille Hatton's your compatriot Redford. I remember doing the commentary for that in Moscow, and she absolutely flew.
Yeah, that's right. Moscow was a incredibly fast course. There were a few world records broken that weekend. So here we go. Here's Dora. She's paddling out nice and strong out the front.
But she was really promising. A couple of years ago, again, 2015, she took the 500 metres first place in the under-23, so it was a big name to go out for. Hasn't really not fulfilled the potential, but hasn't blasted through yet. So it'd be interesting to see how she performs this season.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the Hungarian female squad is incredibly tough, so to break into that, it would be very tough to do. But here she goes through the 250. She's looking strong. hopefully she can keep up that intensity and find some rhythm through the middle.
And really putting it out there. This is the first of 3 World Cups we're going to be covering live on ICF TV. Hello to all the other people in New Zealand if you're watching. If you're listening on the Olympic channel, it's great to have you here. Lisa Carrington's helping me on the commentary today. Moving forward next weekend, we're in Dora's home country. We're in Szeged, which is going to be a large scale. I think there's over 80 nationalities going there. And then we move over to Serbia. We haven't been first about 2011, I believe. Here is Lizzie Borton in your picture. She's keeping up with the pace.
Yeah, there she goes. She's coming back onto Dora there, but Dora's comfortably out the front. They're coming into the 500 metre mark now.
Do you ever train on this distance, or is it just obscene?
I don't race this distance, but I'll do training.
Okay, well, as you see, 154. How does that stand up?
Yeah, that's very good for 500, especially the split. It'd be great to see her negative split that to the finish.
And you can see the bamboo in the background. They've had certain challenges. They're desperately hoping to find a way to manage the wind, because that's the only challenge here. It's a fantastic facility, very good organisation, but the wind often is a challenge, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right. The prevailing wind is a side wind, so it makes it very difficult, especially with the consistency from lane 1 to lane 9.
If you're just tuning in, welcome. We are going to be watching 8 finals this morning. This is the first. It's a non-Olympic event. It's the K1 1,000 metres, coming up to the difficult bit of the course. We've got 250 metres to go, and it is Dora Bodonyi from Hungary who took it out lightning pace. Keeping in touch with at the moment is Lizzie Borton from the UK.
As you can see, Lizzie's picked up her stroke rate there. Obviously with 250 to go, it's really crucial to start picking up that pace.
And Dora's style, is she changing?
I'd say so. No, but she's looking very strong. It's important to be efficient as possible, but here she goes, just nice out the front. As you can see, the fatigue's kicking in, a bit leaning forward. She's holding that pace really well.
And she's in various events this weekend, so she's had quite a lot of practice so far. It's a bit of an advantage because the other girls going straight into the final. Obviously, no chance to really test out the competition. But with about 100 metres to go, she's digging deep.
Yeah, that's right. Lizzie's putting in the paces there. It looks like they've still got a decent lead over the rest of the field. I'm not sure if Lizzie can pick up that gap, but Dora is charging through the finish there.
And as you see, the line on your screen is the actual finish, it's not the boys. And so Dora Bodonyi for Hungary takes the first victory in the new Olympic cycle for the ICF sprint events, and well done.
Well done.
Second is Lizzie Borton from Great Britain. No doubt about the winner. Panting a bit heavily.
I think that the burn will be pretty strong there. It's always a good race to do the 1,000. It's really great for fitness, and they'll gain a lot from that.
And Miriam Viga from Spain. Spain have a big team here this week. They had some trials fairly recently, and they look to I think they have about the biggest team.
I mean, they are it's a really great big sport in Spain, so it's great that they can keep bringing their teams here.
And obviously fairly local, which has been
close.
A logistical challenge for some of the other nations. Obviously, it's quite a hike. So weather conditions, as you can see, there is a slight breeze. A couple of hours ago, when we arrived at 7 o'clock this morning, it was like a mill pond. There wasn't a ripple on the water. It's now starting to pick up nicely, but as you mentioned, it is a tailwind, which certainly helps the athletes.
Yeah, it's always that. I guess when you're performing, always want to have that good fast time. So it's a really great opportunity for everyone to be able to, get a fast time out there.
It's a shame they've turned off the microphones on the pontoons this year. First taking the victory is Dora Bodoni from Hungary, second Lizzie Broughton from Great Britain, and third Miriam Vega from Spain. What I'm talking about is last year we actually had the athletes all talking about how their race was, which was actually quite exciting for us, but I guess someone said please turn it off. Second event of the day, it's the men's K1 1000 metres. And it was really interesting yesterday. We'll go through the actual characters here. It's Ziggy Shumail, trains in Nottingham. I think it's his first international final. He had to come through the semi-finals yesterday. Avekas from Spain looked good in his semi-final. It was the first of each heat who actually went through directly, and after the others, it came through the semi-final. Daniel Paumann, obviously Olympic silver medal from London in the K4 with Hungary. Fernando Pimenta, local hero from when he won the silver in London. Maxime Beaumont was the quickest qualifier, I think, in the 200 metres, and he's also doing this. Just Zakosek, hobby is stand-up paddling, but he's pretty good at everything. Johnny Boynton from England, really been on top form for the last 2 or 3 years now, still trains in the south where the rest of the team has moved up. And Buda Varga is one of many, many millions of top Hungarian athletes. It's a good instinct field, but Maxime Beaumont from France, he clearly has been specialising from the last few years in the K2 200, no longer exists unfortunately, and the K1, but be interesting to see how he goes. Well, he's going off for a 200 race, which is he's flying up. Before he was a 200 specialist, he was a 1000 specialist. He actually moved down about 5 years ago when the 200 became available for London Olympics, and for the last 2 years he's been the French 200 and 1000 champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic that he can use those skills off the start, that intensity, as he would in the 200. Saves a lot of energy for the rest of the race, and here we go, we see Fernando coming through strong.
Fernandez had traditionally known, especially last season, he has a lightning start, and sometimes when he's on form, such as the Europeans in Moscow, he was unbeatable, wasn't he, last year?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's so strong, and being at a home crowd, it always brings that extra importance, and doing it for your home.
Yeah, so he's going to be certainly the one to go for. It's quite interesting to see that Maxime Beaumont and Fernando Pimenta are in the same lane. It's going to see, is Maxime Beaumont going to trail him and then suddenly come through at the end? It's going to be
that's
great
right.
to see.
It looks like Maxime he's settled into the race, had a great start, and then just conserving some energy. So we'll see if he can come through at the end. But Fernando is having a great race so far.
He had I think the Olympics were clearly he didn't medal, but he was one that was perhaps slightly unlucky in the K1 1000.
Yeah, that's right, and I think the Olympics was a tricky one, but obviously a new cycle, so these guys will be prepared to, give it another crack and show what they can do.
And he's absolutely taking this race as he does. He's one of the few people who can really do something special here.
Yeah, it's fantastic looking at Pimenta coming through. He's got a great lead. Hopefully he's conserving some energy to push it through and maintain that.
And his stroke is obviously is efficient.
Yeah, we'll see at the finish if
Long strokes from Maxime Beaumont, because he's racing again. You can do this because the 200 is going to be tomorrow. Yes,
that's right. So pumping out a 1000 is a pretty tough event. Hopefully he still has that speed for the 200 tomorrow. But this is a great event, the 1000 for the men. It's one of the strongest events. And as you can see, Pimenta is just pulling away.
139 at 500. It looks like he's putting on a performance in front of his locals, and there's always this national pride, isn't there? I think in 2012 when they won the silver medal with Emmanuel Silva, they're the only Portuguese medalists, so they obviously you know what it feels like, I guess. There's all the media was really was backing him.
Yeah, that's right.
Clearly it's going to be important here because next year, 2018, Portugal, Montemor-o-Velho is hosting the World Championships.
Yeah, that's right. I think Pimenta, he's coming through and he's going to do a fantastic time, as you can see, going up to 3 minutes now. The world record is 3:22.
We saw Max Hoff we saw Rennie in was it last year, 2 years ago, he did 2:25.
Yeah,
and
that's
we've
good.
seen Dostal when he's on form can do some pretty good things. But yes, Pimenta coming into the last 50 metres, and it's Maxime Beaumont is finishing fast. Good practice.
Picking up that rating.
Jost Jakosek also, but no doubt about who's going to be the winner in 3:26. And you can hear in the background the whole
crowd.
of the VIPs have come out onto the balcony and appreciate a great victory. And it's great for the local crowd as well that you can actually perform when the pressure's on. Maxime Beaumont, he'll have to get a bit of lactic acid out of his system for tomorrow. That's a good workout, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Great to do that big hit out at World Cups. It's important, still got to keep foreseeing that the World Champs is the main event. But Pimenta did an incredible time today, so it's fast conditions.
And I think a lot of these athletes would like to have the same start as Maxime Beaumont. Lives in Boulogne-sur-Mer, which is on the north in Ch'ti country in the north of France. So that's 2 of 8 events to go, and the conditions are great today. We can't stress how different they are from the last couple of days of qualification. There's a bit of difference between, if you're a lefty on the canoeing, between lane 1 and lane 9. I think it was a challenge. We saw some of the athletes yesterday even struggling to start.
Yeah, that's right, and it's so good to have that contrast today, have fair conditions, and they are really fast out there, so making the most of it.
Next event, well, I guess we'll have the official results in a moment. Then while we're doing that, we'll talk a little bit about yourself. You're not racing the individual boats at this regatta.
No, not at this regatta. I'm just in the K2 500, 200 and the K4 500.
Looks impressive. Fernando Pimenta takes the gold in the men's K1 1,000 metres in Montemor-o-Velho. Maxime Beaumont for France takes the silver, and Jos Zakrasek takes the bronze. Just missing out is Daniel Payman, Jonathan Bowson, Zig Ishmael, Pedro Vekers, and Buda Varga, Enrico Aden. All in quite good times, really.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's doing that in a 26 is a really fantastic time, and Fernando will be really happy with that.
I say we can't have the direct feed. Here we go into the C1 Men 1000, and this, for my money, was the most exciting heat that we've seen so far in this regatta. What I'm talking about is yesterday morning. It was Fuxa against Brendel. Here, Felipe Vieira from Portugal. So Portuguese are putting someone in every single race. Oleg Tarnowski didn't compete in the Olympics for well-known reasons. But as Kiss from Hungary, the Hungarians apparently had a choice of whether they're going to come or not this weekend. It's pretty much free reign because they have their major event next weekend. Martin Fuxa, the older of the two Fuxas, competed this weekend, and we will see them in the C2 500 later in the regatta. And here's Sergio Diaz from Colombia. He won his heat as well. Brendel actually didn't win his heat. He was about a second behind Martin Fuxa, but he did close quite rapidly in the last 100 metres. Lane number 7 is Daniel Duran from Spain. They have an excellent tradition in canoes as well. And Nuno Barros from Portugal. So 2 Portuguese athletes in this race, and it doesn't really matter today if you're a lefty or a righty. Yesterday with the crosswind, if you're a lefty, you had great problems. And let's not mention, of course, Ousmane Fall from Senegal. Senegal brought in a team of 5 athletes. Apparently, they have 7 boats in the whole country. So if you're feeling kind-hearted and you want to help a developing sport, you could certainly get in contact with the Senegalese Federation. It's great to see them competing. There's some great athletes, but clearly there's a lack of, experience at this level.
Yeah, that's right. And resource, when you don't have the resource, it's really hard to get into the sport. So it's fantastic to see that they've made the final today.
Always they're available to speak to us, and they've been a very great dynamic presence around us, but clearly it's all going to be about, well, the fastest off the line is Sebastian Brendel, the Olympic champion, only 2 gold medals in the last Olympics. I suppose that's all he could do. He won the C1 1000 fairly convincingly, and the C2 with Jan van Der, who we can see in saw the L say. But Martin Fuxa in lane 4 in the white tip boat is looking very good as well, and he looked incredibly impressive yesterday.
Yes, that's right. I mean, they're taking it out on that right-hand side of the course. They'll be having a really good eye on each other, being so close. So it'll be good to see how the rest of the race unfolds. But Martin Fuxa is strong out the front so far.
Everyone talks about his amazing technique, which is genetically impossible not to have. His father was an Olympian in '96, his grandfather, top international paddler, and for the first time we're going to see in about 3/4 an hour's time, younger brother Peter, who is just 19, and he's going to be competing as well. So Fuchs at the moment is really taking it out. It's what he did also in the heat.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he beat Sebastian Brendel, who's the Olympic champion. But as you see, Sebastian's coming through, taking each stroke. He's gaining a little bit more and more. So we'll have to see as they go through.
It has been hunted down by a shark. and I remember doing the commentary in the Milan 2015 Worlds, where it was the most exciting race of all time until I talked to Sebastian about it, and he said he was losing for 999 metres, and he came back and won by 17 thousandths of a second, and they're just panting for the next 10 minutes. But Fuchs certainly putting down an impressive start here. As you say, he is a righty, and Brendel's a lefty, so that might come into it. Not giving away too many excuses to Sebastian Brendel, though, but he did have 4 months off after the Olympics, started training again on the 2nd of January, and told us the other day that his strength is there, but he needs to perhaps have a check on the endurance. And Fuchs perhaps has heard that, and he's saying, I'm going to test you to the limit, mate.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's especially your fitness is tested in that 1,000 metres, so it'll be great to see if Brendel can bring back in those last 250, and that will really test where his fitness is at.
The problem with Sebastian Brendel is he doesn't know how to lose. He's going to be hurting so much.
Yeah, I mean, the distance is staying really similar for them, so I'm sure Martin Fuchs is just pacing it out the front there.
Because he looked incredibly promising last year and didn't end up medaling in the Rio Games, which was perhaps a surprise, because coming into it he was really neck and neck, and obviously Esteves Guadas dos Santos, who's not here today, was up there well. But it's going to be interesting because we're coming down to the sharp end of the course, and it's still a length and a half. But look, Brendel's coming back.
He is. He's looking very strong, and so is Martin. So it'll still be interesting to see how they go. But he's still got that boat length lead. Oh, here's Brendel. He's picked up the pace there.
250 metres to go, and Sebastian Brendel is doing a copy pace so far of what he did in Milan. This is going to be really psychologically interesting, I think, as we start the new Olympic cycle, because obviously Brendel has his I never lose mentality, and Fuchs obviously needs to fulfil his potential.
Yeah, that's right. And as you see it in Milan, Brendel was behind for majority of the race, so I'm pretty sure he's confident that he can finish really strong. As you can see, he's made some gain on Martin there.
This is wonderful. Through. Coming into 120 metres to go, and it's Fuchs is looking stronger than Milan there. It looks like Fuchs is keeping it going and maybe even pulling away.
Yeah, that's right. It's very, very close. Looking very strong. It looks like they're going to finish with some really good speed there.
Excellent. Martin Fuchs has got another 20 metres to go until he crosses the line. He's going to take the first points of this Olympic cycle. Sebastian Brendel from Germany, I'd say he's just come back after a well-deserved break, so we can't criticise him for that, but he's going to be panting as well. But well done, Martin Fuchs, for against the pressure coming out. And Oleg Tarnowski, the older Tarnowski, has showed that he is a strong paddler coming through in third position, with Sergio Diaz coming through in fourth.
It's fantastic that Martin and Sebastian are here this weekend. It's obviously a great rivalry, and to have that competition is important for both of them to perform really well.
Well, like yourself, you showed up, and everyone was delighted to see you.
No, it's a great place to be, and Portugal always put on a great event, so I do love coming here.
Just off picture, we are seeing the same fall coming across the line now. So that's from Senegal, also receiving a good round of applause. So it's good to see the developing nations are able to put a team out with the resources which are say limited.
Yeah, that's right, and it's fantastic that they're here. Be a great experience for them. It's a great introductory regatta. Although there aren't the numbers, but it's run really professionally, and there still are some amazing paddlers out there today.
You can't fault the enthusiasm, and Marcos and his team here. They're running around 25 hours a day probably.
Yeah, fantastic.
We arrived this morning at 7, and the whole team were here doing what they have to do. So
yeah, they do put on a great show, and they make you feel, they do the best they can.
So we just a little here. The results, as you can see in front of you: 3:46. Martin Fuchs for the Czech Republic, Sebastian Brendel takes the silver, and Oleg Tarnowski from Moldova takes the bronze medal, which is great to see, and it'll keep the excitement, or build the excitement, as we go through the season to know that it's not a foregone conclusion that Sebastian Brendel can always take the gold medal.
Yeah, and as you can see, the world record is 3:44, so only two seconds off, which is fantastic. Great conditions to be able to do that.
Wow, that's good picked up. That's very good. And you'll be able to see, we're actually speaking to you from the bottom of the bigger building, which is the control tower. There's various changes going to be made in the next year to make it spin and span, which is the biggest event of the season, which is going to be the World Championships. And the enthusiastic crowd are waiting, anticipating for the first medal ceremony. We're going to have 3 medal ceremonies during the competition. Obviously, we're trying to pack in as many races as we can. The other medal ceremonies will be still on the live stream, but they'll actually be after the live transmission. And here we go. So coming up, is it for you? Is it another day at the office, or is it always a special feeling? Both, probably.
No, I think it's great. It's just to be out there and be part of the sport. You know, always looking for great performances, and it's always just fantastic to be at these World Cups racing the best in the world, and just to get that experience, because simulating this type of racing and training is never the same, so it's fantastic to be out here and be able to do that.
We did have the medal ceremony. If we can hear it clearly, we won't announce, but I'm not sure we can. I think they put double glazing in here, unfortunately. No, I don't think you can hear it. So they're announcing it's going to be the final of, it's non-Olympic, it's the K1 1000, but there again, they came through with no qualifications, no semi-finals, so there's no way to test it. And we did see that Dora Bodioni took it out from start to finish, so there was never any doubt.
That's right, she had a fantastic start. She was in the lead right from the beginning, which always helps, and then a really strong finish.
So taking the bronze medal, representing Spain, is Miriam Viga, coughing a little bit. There's Thomas Koniec from the German. He's a senior vice president of the International Canoe Federation, plus the team leader of Hungary. So it's always a team leader who has the right to say a few kind words to their winning athlete.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great opportunity for the sport to have your team leader representing out there as well.
Great Britain, big squad out here. Development, a few senior players as well, and it's Lizzie Broughton from Richmond who steps up and takes the silver medal. So there's a few changes in the Brit team. Obviously, Ed McKeever's retired now. Apparently, he's still incredibly fit. And some of the Liam Heath and a couple of others, big names, will be competing in World Cup 2 and 3. But there's a good development team here for the future, and quite a few canoeists, women canoeists come through. So the gold medal for the first event of the Montemor-o-Velho Cup 2017 K1 1000 goes to Dora Bodioni from Hungary.
The Hungarians, they definitely do frequent that top place on that podium. So.
Well, I think the inspiration you're doing, I think New Zealand might be coming through, and also, I wonder if they're going to play the anthem. They won't speak during the national anthem.
The national anthem of Hungary.
Well done, all the competitors, for competing in the first event of the new Olympic cycle. And welcome to you, wherever you're listening, right throughout the world. We're looking forward to seeing you all in the next years, as many events as you can come to.
That's right. I mean, hopefully we've got some people at home in New Zealand watching the racing today. We have Caitlin Ryan, who's in the K1 500, which will be a fantastic race for her. So shout out to those that are at home. I think it's a bit cold there. It's a little bit different to what we have today.
Caitlin, yesterday you were watching, you were the two of you were the New Zealand fan club yesterday watching your race, and I know I chatted to you afterwards, and you were like, good time.
Yeah, she did a fantastic time, and as I said before, it's important to be able to, when you have those opportunities to race well, when there's a tailwind, when the water's fast, to produce those PBs, and she did a PB yesterday of a 1:48.9.
Wow. So here we go. This is the lineup of the K1 Women 500. Christina Fazagazur, Olympian. Portela, Olympian. Voltakiewicz, you know quite a lot about. Caitlin Ryan, up and coming. Rebecca Seaman, European champion speler. Ponomarenko Jankic, many world medals. Mira Povka from the Ukraine. Anya Osterman, looking good so far. And Estevan Tonder is stepping out of the shadow of Bridget Hartley, who's concentrating on marathons this year, because obviously the Marathon World Championship is going to be in South Africa. Christina Fazagaz, she's 36 years old now, and she's been really through it all, been paddling 26 years apparently.
It's amazing. I mean, she's got two Olympic gold medals in the K4, so I mean, she'll be racing hard. I was talking to her earlier. She said she didn't quite have the speed for the 200, but hopefully she's got that fitness for the 500.
Someone else who doesn't quite have the speed for the 200.
Yeah, Marta, it's great to see her join the 500 this weekend. And here's Caitlin Ryan. She's one of my training partners at the moment, so it'll be fantastic to see how she goes.
Rebby Simon, who has been around quite a while now.
Yeah, she won her heat yesterday, which was fantastic, so we'd love to see how she goes today.
So these are all familiar faces, very familiar faces.
And Speller as well, fantastic paddler, great 200 metre paddler, which is her favourite, but she's also amazing over this distance.
This is good for you. It's almost like an analysis section. You could see who the competition is going to be.
And we have Anya there. We paddled with her on the Gold Coast earlier this year with Speller as well. So she's paddling well. She's got a fantastic start on her, so it'll be great to see how she goes today.
I'd say Este's stepping out. She's been on the scene like 8 or 9 years now, but she's been in the shadows of Bridget, but now has a chance to shine. So do you have some sort of adrenaline going, or are you just completely like me, just relaxed and watching it?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, I think it's fantastic. I'm quite excited to see how these girls go today. And here they go off the start. We see Teresa Portela always has a fast start, and there she goes. She's right out the front. Looks like Marta's catching it. Caitlin is coming through there. She's starting to settle right down into her stroke there.
Because she's now in your team, isn't she?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So she's settled in. Caitlin's got a great time between strokes, efficiency. As you can see, Anya from Slovenia is right up there as well.
You had breakfast with Caitlin this morning?
With Caitlin, yes, I did. She was very excited. Very excited. We wouldn't expect that she'd be racing the K1 500 final today.
Well, she's doing rather well at the moment. Coming at the halfway lead, she has a lead. Marta Voltakiewicz had some fourth time with injury off, so let's forgive her if she doesn't step up. But so far, it's going to be Lisa Carrington. Can she sit down for the next 200 metres?
That's right. I mean, Caitlin is coming through strong. She's an incredible paddler, so it'll be great to see her performance today. As they're coming through the 200, it looks like Caitlin's still in the lead there. Great strength in every stroke. And
does she have your turbo in the last 50 metres?
Yeah, she's got some great fitness, so as long as she's been efficient in that first part of the race, she'll do well.
Teresa Portela is keeping in touch, but so far it looks like Caitlin Ryan is putting on a performance.
That's right. She doesn't look like anyone will pass her. They're coming in right into the 100 now. Speller Janic is coming through.
This is where it's going to hurt, but there's less than 100 metres to go. The New Zealanders next to us, just outside, are shouting them away, but it looks like this is going to be the performance of her life coming into the last 50 metres, and Caitlin Ryan has benefited from training with Lisa Carrington, and she knows how to win now. Look at this, she wins by over a length. Well done.
That's fantastic. Well done, Caitlin. That was awesome. And Speller coming in second there. You see Christina in third. A great race for those girls. Caitlin will be absolutely ecstatic with that result. Well done.
Does that mean she becomes a pain in the training, or?
No, I think it's fantastic. She'll take a lot of confidence from that racing. Next weekend we're also in the K2 500 and the K4 500, so it'll be fantastic.
What I did notice about your New Zealand team is you're always laughing, and you seem to have a huge bond between you.
Yeah, I mean everyone's pretty happy, and everyone's really supportive. As we can see out there, there's a lot of Kiwis, a few Kiwis there just supporting Caitlin, so it's fantastic. She had a fantastic performance today.
Excellent. Well, that's the K1 500 metres, and she really took it out, didn't she? From the 50-metre mark, she really stamped her authority, and no one could stay with her.
That's right. I mean, she's incredibly strong, and she had a great performance today.
Did we see the time?
I didn't see the time. Love to see it though.
Well, the wind, the breeze is how would you describe it? 'Cause you're quite an expert at that. What you said?
Yeah, it's advantageous, I'd say. There's a slight tail, which is a little break on the water, and this course is always a little bit quicker, which is always nice.
Good start. And the water temperature, I haven't actually had a swim, but does it
Feels
help?
a little bit fresh, but I guess the temperature in the air is pretty nice. So here's Caitlin, she's absolutely stoked. We'll give her a lot of confidence. 1:47.4, that's incredible. That's a fast time. The world record is 1:47.01, I think.
Well done. Caitlin
That's
Ryan
really
is
close.
really upping the guns with Lisa I've said it twice now. Lisa Counter commentator. Very impressive performance. Spela Ponomarenko-Janic is second, and Christina Fazagas-Zur, who she said she struggled after two Olympic goals to do the training again, but she's based in California clearly, and she's now putting in a solid performance because there's a lot of good athletes there. So this is looking from the pontoon. We're now going into a probable new Olympic event. It hasn't. No, I'm talking rubbish. It's the C1 500. Sorry, it's the 200s going to Olympics. So we actually saw the lineup there. Again, there hasn't been any qualifications here, so we're straight into the final, and it's Jana Jozova with Arime Grele. She actually has some pedigree. She came third in the African Championships 2016. Diana Paliev from Chile. Chile have quite a few athletes over here, which is good effort to bring them all that way to perform here. Virag Bala, she has a lot of competition with Cisco Tascac, who we're going to see in a minute. They're together in the C2. Beatriz Barros from Portugal will be looking to do something, but next on the line is going to be Cisco Tascac. They had some training or some competitions last week in Hungary, and she won the 200 by half a second, and we saw Vireg win the 500 by half a second. Ludmila Luzan from Ukraine. Ukraine, very easy to recognise, got the beautiful yellow jumpers on, and it's Hanna Michova from Slovakia coming out, and then we do also have a second Portuguese athlete, Marcia Farah. So it's good to see that there is starting to be a bit of strength, depth of the canoeists.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this isn't an Olympic event, but great to see a full final here. They'll have a good race today. Obviously, it's a straight final, straight nose preliminary races, so they will be wondering where everyone's at, but it's fantastic. They'll have a good race today with some fast times, as you've seen in the other races as well.
So the pedigree at the moment, if you're looking on lane number 4, was going to be Virag Bala. They have been with Cisco Tascac. They have the world under 23 world champions together, and obviously Hungary is actually taking this canoeing quite seriously.
Yeah, I think if it's an Olympic event, it's really important to win medals, and that's an opportunity that they have.
Tascac is taking it out. Here she's the righty, Virag is going to be the lefty, but today the conditions, as we have a tailwind, shouldn't really affect anything. Time's clearly going to be a bit slower than the kayak, But they and also, if you're just turning in for the first time, they don't have rudders on these boats. It's steering with everything. Today it looks quite easy, but yesterday it was a real. Even the world's best was were really struggling just to keep the boat clean and in the right way.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, these girls, it's very tricky in those boats, and to keep it straight definitely requires high skill. So with a side wind, definitely difficult.
Well, as we thought, it's the two Hungarians who are continuing their personal battle. Last week, it's on your picture, Virag, she won by 0.7 seconds in their own trial, and at the moment she's less than a second up. Still a bit of range. We do have Anguille from Senegal, who's she came third in the Africans, but she was like 35% seconds off the pace here, so it's still a bit of work to go. But these top athletes now, and they're really performing in good conditions. The lefty's going to see if she can pull it off today. They've got 200 meters to go, and keeping the stamina going well.
That's right. I'll be coming into the 100 meters to go now. The stroke rate has come down a little bit from the start, but as you can see there, it's picking back up to have a really fast finish. The Hungarian there.
Any depth at all in New Zealand?
No, it's something that they're trying to gather a few. We've had a few people from, we've had a couple girls from South America come through and start performing.
Coming up to the line, the victory is for Virag Bala from Hungary. Takes it by nearly 2 lengths from her compatriots, Kisko Takac, and in third place, Ludmila Luzan from Ukraine.
Fantastic race, girls. That would be amazing. It's amazing to have that practice. They don't have as many races as some of the other disciplines, so always good to go out there and do the C1 500.
And we'll be seeing Takash here. She's going to be in the stern when they're racing the C2 together, which we'll be seeing tomorrow. So, although we saw you on the water this morning, just putting in some 200 meters tests, I guess, you concentrating on the team boats.
Yeah, so while I'm here at the World Cups, it's a really great opportunity for me to, test out the team boats and see how we go as a team and start establishing a foundation there. So it's fantastic being out there in those team boats, and for me, establishing some team boat skills.
And for the K2 500, how did you choose your partner? Was it chosen for you?
Lucky draw. No. No, so I'm with Amy Fisher. She's a top paddler at home, and so I race with her here in Portugal, World Cup 1, and then I race with Caitlin at World Cup 2 in Szeged. So we're mixing it up a bit. We just want to. It's a fantastic way for us to.
Let's just break off briefly. This is the results that we've just seen. Confirmation in 2 minutes 5. Virag Bala takes the gold for Hungary. Kisko Takac takes the silver for Hungary. Ludmila Luzan takes the bronze for Ukraine. So you're also going in the K4. You're not yet steering that, are you? Or you're not yet stroking that, rather?
No, I'm in seat 2 at the moment. So we're still establishing where the best places for us to sit. So which is cool. We're right at the big infancy phases of this K4.
Well, we can watch how the men do the K2 500. It's becoming more and more interesting as the K4 has now gone down to 500. So I suppose the speed of the 500s comes back to relevance.
Yeah, and it's it is a shame that the chance that the K4 1000 for the men won't be at the Olympics anymore, but it is also a great opportunity for those who lost the K2 200, so to bring back to the K2 500 would be fantastic.
Well, we have some young Brits, Joe and Matt here, Beavers and Robinson. At the top of your picture, we just missed out the two Hungarians, 20 and 21 years old. They'll look to do something. From Slovakia, we have Franka and Botek. And then we do have some These are flying off the pace yesterday. They were 2 or 3 meters ahead. The Ukrainians after 250 meters. The Spanish, who are optimistic, young, looking to put forward a team. Not really talking young anymore. 39-year-old Zonton Canoe. He was at the Atlanta Games. He's still having fun. He's in the K4 and he's in this. And then we have a strong Portuguese team. David Fernandes, David Varela. So there's some good names. Some experienced names and some new ones coming through as well. And the 9th lane, it is going to be great for Algeria, who have several members out. It's Jalabi and Baghdadi to test it with the big boys. We didn't mention the second Portugal, which is Figueiredo and Moreira. So what are you seeing off the start?
It looks like they're all very close off the start. This race is going to be a quick one. Obviously, every stroke counts coming through. The Ukrainians are taking out a humongous lead there, so it'll be fantastic to see if they can maintain that.
That's what they did yesterday. There were two bits ahead. And I read some press comments that you said yesterday. It's like, what you're saying, it's easier to go faster, or your marks are different when you're in the K2 500? Or?
Yeah, I think when you're in a team boat, the boat speed is much higher. So every stroke you're going further. Obviously, you've got two paddles each side. So there we go. We see the Spanish coming through there. They're holding on to those Ukrainians.
It's a question of, can they, after their blistering start of their 200-metre start, can they keep going for 500 metres? But at time, I guess this is going to hurt a lot, isn't it? Because it's like an extended 200, really.
That's right. This event is incredibly tough, but it's also great to watch. It's always close. Well, the Ukrainians look like they're pulling away from the Spanish there. The Hungarians are coming through, though.
Zoltan Kamara, I think he's won too many medals to really talk about, but he's with his 24-year-old partner, he's looking to take second place, and he's still has the thirst for it. I don't know how many seasons he's been going, but at 39, quite a few. He was at Atlanta in 18, but here we go. It's coming up to the line, 20 metres to go, and it's going to be Ukraine head from start to finish, with Hungary finishing fast and Spain coming in third. So it's it's quite a quick race, wasn't it?
It's a very quick race. Fantastic to see the Hungarians finishing incredibly strong past the Spanish. Ukrainians start to finish.
Now we're going the K4 as well. Zoltan Kamara, but V. Need to pronounce the V at the end. They know they've been in a race. So the schedule. Would you be hoping to push you forward? And I know you don't particularly like being asked this sort of question, but hypothetically, you could do what in Tokyo if you qualified, if you were able to make the team?
Yeah, so I would love to do both individual races, 500 and 200, and also the K4. But I mean, we are a few years away from that. There's a few more hurdles. Girls coming through, as you saw earlier. Caitlin Ryan's amazing paddle this morning. So. It's looking really good for New Zealand. So
often your creators are saying you like new challenges. You've set yourself up with a heck of a challenge because you've been inspiring the nation for the last 6 or 7 years, and now they're coming through and they say, I'd like to get somewhere close to you. And we saw with Caitlin this morning that the girls are putting marks down. That's right, and I think it shows that it's fantastic to be able to have that depth in our sport just coming through. And we talked a couple of days ago, the legacy, now you've actually achieved probably quite a few of your goals. That's coming into play now, of what you can leave and what you can put down for the next generation. Because New Zealand, you've been every sort of 10 years, you produce some amazing performances, don't you? Yeah, that's right. And if we can do that more often, every year with more people, I think that's more important. Here we go. We're going to have the official results for the K2 500 metres. Ukraine take the gold, Hungary take the silver, and Spain will take the bronze medal. And we're going to have the second ceremony of the day coming up, and it's going to be the K1 1000 men. This is where we saw Fernando Pimenta looking really, really good. And again, you mentioned it was a very, was it 3:27 or something? So fast time. 3:27, 3:25, I think. Yeah, so great performances. Maxime Beaumont had a fantastic start. As we said before, he's a K1 200, a K2 200 specialist. So it's always a handy trick to have up the sleeve. That's quite a different set of skills, isn't it? Really, to keep it going 3.5 minutes. Yeah, that's right. And it's after that start that you have to find some efficiency and that running speed to hold you through that race. So here they're going, setting themselves up. athletes having a good little chat. There must be so much, and I saw when we chatted to you and Sebastian Brentel, there's so much understanding and mutual respect, isn't there, going on?
Yeah, there's a similar, something similar that you've both achieved, and having, having that understanding, it's always great we have something in common.
Well, here we go. The more people are turning out now. It's going to be a hot day, apparently, today.
Yeah, the sun is shining, so hopefully people have got sunblock on.
The dignitaries are coming out. They've seen Victor Felix, who's the president of the Portuguese Federation. It looks like he's going to be giving out the bongs. So the athletes, it's about 20 minutes after they came off the water. Ideally, wouldn't they have had a bit of a longer warm down, or is that just the way it goes?
Yeah, ideally they would have they probably have had a warm down, light paddle, especially for Maxime, who's going into the 200 tomorrow.
Well, here we go, same format, dignitaries watching on, crowd happy. And the athletes say it's third, first and second. Second, the giant at the back, Maxime Beaumont, had a 200 metre start. And he's still confused. Apparently he still wakes up in the middle of the night to know that in the 200 metres in Rio, he was leading with 50 metres to go. And then Liam, he said, no.
That's right. I think Liam last year were really focused on his finishing back end of his race, so fantastic to see that he could do that.
Yeah, poor Max is still haunted by that situation. Well, here we go. So it's introduced in Portuguese first, as it should be, and then translated into English. But unfortunately, we can't really pick up what they're saying, so we have to go through it. There's, I say it's Victor Felix, who's the president of the Portuguese Federation, in the foreground with another dignitary.
Medals will be presented by Tiago Brando Rodrigues, Portuguese Minister of Education.
So taking the
Victor
bronze medal is
of the
a
Portuguese Canoe Federation.
wild water slalom stand-up paddling specialist who also enjoys the Slovenian sprint style. He really does everything, and we're asking what's his passion outside of the water sports, and he was give us a blank.
Too many things. Or none.
No, none. He just spends all his time. Anyway, it's for Slovenia. We're talking about Jost Zakrasek, who's been really, he's been on top of his form for many years, makes quite a few A finals, and great to see him finally on the podium.
Yeah, that's right. To see him here, it'd be great for Slovenia to be on the podium in the K1 1000, and also they have Spella on the podium in the K1 500.
Maxime Beaumont.
Maxime Beaumont from France. He is the French team. And he always gets to events. He for France, taking the silver medal, what he always does is turn up just before and race. And last year he did all the World Cups plus the French Championships, and I think he medalled in all of them, winning the last one. So Portugal last year was the third World Cup. This year obviously it's the first World Cup. It's Fernando Pimenta, who is very impressive, wins the gold medal for his home nation. And once he decided to turn up the turbos, it was never really in doubt, was it?
No, that's right, and he was in the lead from the 150 through to the rest of the race.
Well done, Fernando. He was pretty much on the medal podium all last year.
Por favor, levantem-se para
And we'll
escutar
have
o hino
the
nacional de
national
Portugal.
anthem of
Please
Portugal.
rise for the
which
national
we'll,
anthem of
respect.
Portugal.
So we've just heard the national anthem of Portugal, which is great because we're actually in Portugal. It is a sunny day, as you can see. The flags flying behind you are flying from right to left, which means it's a tailwind, which is exactly what we like. Air temperature probably about perfect, and that's why we're seeing some really first class times. Caitlin Ryan, you said she was very close to the world's fastest ever in the K1 500 when she won it a few minutes ago.
Yes, that's right. It's great out there today, but also being able to do those times, you have to be a great paddler. So that's fantastic.
Just the compulsory selfie. Hello Kenny, if you're watching. They'll be competing the next Kenny Wallace from Australia. He invented the selfie a few years ago, and even now why not the helpers, which do such a good job. They're also taking the selfie. He's not happy with that, is he? A pout might be better. But, it's quite a relaxed. There's the president on the left of the Secretary General of the Senegalese Federation. He's saying hello.
It's great to see people have come out today. It's a fantastic day to be watching racing.
Well, it is. There's absolutely no downside at all. It's not too hot. Put your sunscreen on, and it's great. Well, here we go. It's the K2 1,000 meters final, and again we have a lot of mixture of experience and some fairly new names coming through. So we'll see how that works out. So now the K4 has dropped down to 500 meters. Will the relevance of this come off a bit? That's what I've heard from speaking to a couple of people, or is that just some sort of over a few too many drinks theory?
Hopefully not. It is an incredible event with those men losing the K4 1000. Hopefully this is still that opportunity to express your fitness over that longer distance.
Well, time will tell. In the next couple of minutes, we're expecting some good times. We don't have the Olympic medalists. We're going to have a big. In fact, we don't have, yes, we have. Sorry, we have two Germans here this weekend, and we've seen Sebastian Brendel, and we have Jan Vondry, who will be competing with him. I think it's 500 tomorrow. So they're doing that, and they'll be going a big team going to Szeged next weekend. And Serbia the weekend after. The reason that there's 3 weekends in a row, which I think is not what the organisers originally wanted, was last weekend the Pope was here, so all the hotel rooms were full. So unfortunately they had to make a decision, and they let the Pope have his way. And so this is where it goes. So Tuscan and Katan from Ukraine. Ukraine, quite a strong team here, which is good to see. Finland, a small team. They've got quite a few youngsters coming through. Again, some big names. Totten Kalavi. They have the K4 here, so they let some of the old legends out. We saw last year's winner here, Emmanuel Silva and Joao Ribeiro. Silva obviously used to go with Pimenta until he stopped doing the K2, but they're all 4 of them often in the K4 together. And then we have Spain, Goitiarra and Lopez, and Hungary, Petr and Meyer, a young team. So the Hungarians have a few of the old legends and a few of the newcomers coming through. And then for the Great Britain, we have Matt Bowley and Daniel Johnson, who are looking to put down a mark of well. First off in lane number 9, it looks like the Portuguese that we didn't actually mention is Ferreira and Pereira coming through.
As you can see, the Portuguese, both in lane 5 and lane 9, had great starts, and also in the females. But here we go, the Hungarians coming through strong. With
the black tip bait. And we'd expect Emmanuel Silva, having watched his great competitor, Fernando Pimenta. Those two won the silver, just missing out on the gold in the London Olympics. They'd be wanting to keep the high level together. But so far, it's the Hungarians which have really taken out.
Yeah, that's right. They're looking really comfortable there. Timing and rhythm in the urge stroke is really good.
Well, Totten Kalafi have been around for many years, so they know what rhythm is all about. Here we have Emmanuel Silva stroking the bet, and also it looks like in lane number 7 the other Hungarians doing well.
That's right, they're coming through. They're holding on to the other Hungarians in lane 4.
Apparently with the Hungarian team it is a case of not come if you want to, but it's very much an opening. If you feel you can do with the practice, you can almost.
Yeah, that's right, and they have
obviously a lot of them want to come.
That's right, and they have trials in a few weeks' time, so this is a great opportunity for them to have that practice.
And we didn't actually mention the other medalists in the K1 women 500 meters from Rio. We do have Danuta Kozak, who's rather plump at the moment.
Oh yes, she's got this baby on the way, so I guess it's great timing, especially if she going to keep going. So as you can see, the Ukrainians have strongly pulled past the Hungarians.
The Ukrainians have a very strong team out this week, and obviously have mastered the crew boats, because they pick up a lot of medals here. But here we go. They seem to be. Are they? I guess the sign of a good boat is you think it's one boat, and if you think it's bad, it's like 2 different people in the boat.
That's
if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Are they pulling together nicely?
It looks like it. I mean, they're getting some fantastic boat runners, I can see from here. And obviously every stroke is pulling them forward and away from the Hungarians. As you can see, the Hungarians have lifted a little bit there.
They're starting maybe to come back though. If you look, the camera angle might be deceptive, but with only 200 meters to go, this is where it's going to start really hurting.
That's right, he's going through the 200s there. Not long at all until the finish, so they have to keep picking up pace, especially for those Hungarians if they want to pass the Ukrainians.
Well, they pulled away again, as you say. It looks like they've settled for second place.
I think so.
Ukraine really putting on some sort of demonstration here. Coming for the last 100 meters, so it is certainly Ukraine. Unless they fall out, they're going to win, and that's Vitaly Tuskan and Oleg Kauhav. And they are really pulling away. It's 1.5, but it's a close battle for third place. It's very much a case of second is going to be Hungary, but can Finland pull out a third place? That'll be good to see. But
it
not
looks
for
like
the local.
Portuguese. Oh, it's very close.
As we can,
Very
you can see
close.
on your screen clearly, the white line, which is not a physical line, is drawn between the 2 flags. The locals are certainly hoping that Portugal come through, but looking at it as the blind eye, it looked like maybe Finland have a medal.
We'll have to wait for those official results to come through.
And there the finish.
Oh, there we go. Third place, Finland. Fantastic. They'll be very happy with that.
Oh, he banged his head for. I can't believe it. Or why didn't we take first? That's good to see. Should be the Portuguese that are banging their head, because they were out fast, weren't they? The
They
Portuguese
were
are very
very
smart,
out very
green-tipped
fast.
boats. And they all have the same logo on their boats.
Yes, it's fantastic to see as a team. You can spot them very easily. The Ukrainians pushed right to the finish.
They did, didn't they? Where Hungary backed off a little bit.
That's right. I mean, it's they were probably definitely trying to that finish, but the Ukrainians were just too dominant.
And look at the moment, you see in the white boat in third place, Finland have half a metre, goes down to 40 centimetres, 30, 20, across the line, who cares?
Very close.
So that's a shame for the locals. It's Manuel Silva, Rubiero just missing out this time on the actual on the medals. But look at that. That's I think the Ukrainians they must practice their signs of joy, because they're not timid in showing how happy they are, which is great to see.
That's right, and it's fantastic to see how much it means to them finishing so strongly.
Ukraine take the gold, Hungary take the silver, and Finland take the bronze medal. And I think, Lisa Carrington, not criticising you, but you look so cool as a cucumber every time you finish and cross the line. Do you think you might be able to do that one time?
Yeah, maybe I'll have to break my paddle on my boat or something.
Okay, you probably deteriorate a bit. But we saw Silva Rubiero taking up 4th place, Brits Barley Johnson taking the 5th place, still very much in touch, and Spain, Hungary, Portugal and Slovakia, who actually didn't start, sorry. So moving along nicely, you can say the wind is, the directions, it's very light, but it's starting to change, isn't it? When I spoke to Marcos Oliveira about 8 o'clock this morning, I said, is it going to hold? He said yes until lunchtime.
Yeah, well, hopefully it can maintain the direction it is for the end of these finals. So
So Peter Fuchser, he's 19 years old and he's the younger brother of Martin, who we just seen with Coronet game for the Czech Republic. Of course, it's a lineup for the C2 1000 men, the final, and we do have some quite big names going forward in this. It's good to see we have some Olympians. Here he is. He's his first international event. Father was international, grandfather international, and so he's keeping it going. Hungarians looking to put forward a good team. We have they're in the same club, but they're not the same family. So Helder Silva and Nuno Silva. Helder Silva obviously was a very accomplished C2 100 metre paddler, but obviously that doesn't really come into it anymore. And here we go. We have Olympians. They came sixth in the Olympians, just in your picture there. We'll come back to them in a minute. Spain with a young team. They looked good yesterday. They won. I suppose the pedigree team here is Janček and Mišek, who took to third place in the Olympic Games. Diaz and Chicago also from Colombia, with Spain and Portugal that we haven't quite had time to see. But going back to the Cubans, it was a case of Sergio Torres, who's 30 years old, Fernando Jorge, who's 18 years old. They are really pushing across the generations, but it must work for them.
That's right. I think having that experience, it looked like they've had a false start there.
That's the first one today. We only saw, I think, one yesterday. So the starters obviously doing a first-class job here. The problem about these the canoes is it's not like a slalom boat. You can't turn it so easily, can you?
No, that's right. And also being in a C2, it's a little bit more difficult. So they have to paddle back round. Sometimes that's good to get the nerves out, but also it can put some people off.
And then often we'll hear the speaker saying, "Hurry up, gentlemen, we're on live television," as if they give a damn. All they want to do is get a good start, a good middle, a good finish, as the Polish team say. And
that's just a good race.
Exactly. No, Beata Mikulajczyk, if you're watching, that's all she said. For the last 5 years I've been doing this, every single race, whether she's... and she speaks really good English, it's so annoying. Good start, good middle, good finish. What happened there?
I couldn't quite tell.
Well, the Portuguese got off to a staggering start. So the way it works is what happened. Do they have an official warning?
Yeah, so it's one false start per boat.
And then you go home.
Yeah, I think if you're second false start, then disqualification. But I mean, it's very difficult to false start with sitting in a gate, because the gate won't go down until the gun is gone.
So it's almost that. I mean, I think I had issues in Copenhagen, but obviously that's another story.
Yeah. Here
we go. They're lining up in the last live TV event of today. Thank you so much for watching. Lisa Carrington from New Zealand has very kindly stepped up, and why she stepped up to the mark, because you're not competing today. You've been out in the boat, and it's very kind to watch as you saw your compatriot putting a spellbinding performance in the 500 meters. That's something to celebrate. And you'll be in the are you in the bow of the boat next weekend?
Yes, I'm in the front. So yep, I will be. I'm in the front for both K2s, but still in seat 2 for that K4.
And then do you decide, or does the coaching staff decide what flows the better? Or
yeah, I think it's a team effort in figuring out what's the best way, and it's what's the best for everyone in the boat. So there they go. They have a clean start with white flag.
Second time away, C2, 1,000 meters. We're supposed to. I think we might have a slight delay in the next awards ceremony because one of the C1s in the C2. Here we go.
Looks like the Spanish have taken out a really good start there.
But they have, haven't they? They have Alfonso Benefides, who does a lot of C1. He absolutely flies all the time.
Yeah, that's right. These boats are moving at some great speed there, every stroke. Looking very strong there from the Spanish. As you can see, the Portuguese in lane 3 there, looks like they're coming through.
What we saw yesterday with the Portuguese was because Helder Silva is a C1 200 paddler. They had a massive start, but they appeared to run out of steam at about the 500 meter mark. And I say because the 200 is no longer in the Olympics, he has to find a way to keep in the sport. So he's probably having a challenge adapting up at the moment.
Yes, that's right. It's all about that fitness. So as you go, the Hungarians are coming through in lane 2 there.
But the Hungarians have a huge tradition at this, don't they? They could probably put out 10 teams that would compete at this sort of level.
Yes, they've always very strong in the C1 and always strong in the C2. As you can see there, they are looking very good coming through there.
And we saw at the Olympics when Sebastian Brendel took the gold medal. He looked with I was doing the speaker out there, and I know the co-commentator, who was Portuguese, was getting very excited with that 100 metres to go, and then he started crying, and Brendel came over with round in and won the race as they did.
Yeah.
Here we go, but so far in lane number 4 it does look like the Cubans are certainly doing well.
Of the 500.
So, as I mentioned, Torres and Jorge. Torres in the front has already 5 World Championship medals. He won the gold in C2 1000 in, obviously with a different partner, because he'll be only 6 years old, in 2005 and 2007. He's now found himself a young battery in the back.
Yeah.
And with the Cuban tradition in this, it's obviously they're bringing it forward very nicely. But at the moment, we will say at the bottom of our picture is it
Ukraine here. They are looking very strong, as you've seen in the previous team boats. They've done something very similar, coming through strong in the finish.
They are 3rd in the Olympic Games, and they had a win last year also in Duisburg, and they have very smart hats on, so they should. I think they're going to come forward very well. Do you know why they wear them? Is it because the Senegalese wear these very smart blue and white ones? Some wear caps. There's no aerodynamic reason why you wear a cap.
Maybe they've got long hair, who knows.
But anyway, coming into 200 metres to go, it's very much a case of Cuba are looking to be not caught by Ukraine.
That's right. Ukrainians did make a pounce for the Cubans, but it looks like the Cubans are going to fend off the first. The Spanish have come through. I think they're passing the Hungarians right now.
So looking like Cuba have the force and the fitness to keep it up. Ukraine, they are really showing that they're still a solid performance after the Olympic Games performance, and we have a titanic battle for the 3rd place. It does look like in lane number 5, it looks like Spain's just going to take it, 3rd place. But the Cubans, well done. That's Sergio Torres and Fernando Jorge, who have a total age of 58, but an age difference of 12. It's like some sort of quiz, and they're absolutely delighted with themselves there. And, they look pretty upset, don't they?
I mean, it's a tough race.
Other emotions.
Yeah. No, I mean, they paddled well. They came through. They weren't anywhere near the lead in the start of that race, so
I have to ask them what their tactics were, and as a lot of the Olympians, we've talked about a lot of them. They have had either exhaustion time off or mental rehabilitation or for different reasons. They just wanted to chill a little bit after Olympic year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's so important to have a break. It's seen as a 4-year cycle, so every year building up and up and up.
And you had 15 minutes off? Or?
I took 2 months off, so
okay.
Doing nothing, so it's good. You see the Spanish just making it through there.
Yourself, you've conquered the highest mountain twice, in London and in Rio. Is it a challenge keeping the motivation, or is that an insulting question?
No, I think I still have really similar motivations about my performances in my K1, so I obviously just want to keep being a better paddler, and there are more mountains to climb. So.
And you keep ringing gongs back in New Zealand. Is your profile going through? If you walk down the street, can you walk down without being mobbed?
Yeah, I think New Zealanders, we are pretty quiet, shy, humble people, so we may point and stare, but
still recognition. So these are great pictures. Look at this. This shows the whole course. So on the right hand side you have the warm-up lanes. Halfway down you have the link into the 500 meters. Torres and Jorg take the gold for Cuba in 3:30. Janchuk and Mischuk take the silver for Ukraine, and Mutan Martin for Spain. They just held out the Hungarians to take the 3rd position. So that's really, really good work here today. And looking back on a conclusion, probably unfair to ask the highlight for you. Apart from the 500-meter women, the conditions certainly very favourable. And on the left-hand side, look, you can see where the road is. The idea 7 years ago, they planted some bamboo trees. Plants, but unfortunately you need to water them, and so they're looking into having another plan, because apart from the wind, which is pretty much always comes the same direction, doesn't it?
Yes,
and that really does put the dampener on it sometimes, which is a bit of a shame. But apart from that, location-wise, and obviously a lot of the athletes from around the world who are even here, not here this weekend, rather, they know this facility because it's pretty much open 365 days a year.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to come here. And as I said before, Portugal put on a professional, event. So that's really important for us as athletes when we turn up.
So here they go. We're just going to do the last live ceremony of the day. It's the C1 1000. The first athlete you'll see is going to be Sergei Diaz. He's not overexcited, he's just exhausted. Excuse me, he's literally come off the water about a minute ago. Ran, put his tracksuit on, and taken a medal in this. And I say that's the reason he's done that is he's just crossed the line in the C2 1000. So he's certainly getting his money's worth today.
That's right. I mean, he's still sweating out there. I mean, it is warm, but he will be very hot under that tracksuit.
Good effort though. That he's actually made it. Kept the timing well. That's really good effort.
Yeah. So the finals are all finished for this morning's session. So it's fantastic to see great racing today.
And then we had 8 races today. I think we have 12 races tomorrow. It's a packed schedule.
It's a really packed schedule tomorrow, especially for people who are also doing similar events to myself. So the K2 200, K2 500, and the K4 500.
Good. And the K4 500, have you been able to practice? Because obviously it's a straight final.
No, we've practiced in training, but not in racing yet, so we'll have to see.
We saw you Wednesday evening, so it shows how long back you're putting out some really big spins. But here we go, we're going to have the award ceremony for the C...
There's the Kiwi girls.
Hello back home. The C1 1000. Pavel on your right is the team leader for the Czech Republic, and Thomas Gnetti is a very dynamic member of the International Canoe Federation from Germany. I know a couple of weeks ago he was in India. I'm very impressed with the way the Indians are looking to become a major force. And he was telling me last night that the India not too far away from really becoming an interesting nation. They have everything in place. There's the money apparently. There's everything it needs. So look out in 10 years' time. Here we go. We have Sergei Diaz, who's just stepped off the water to take a well-deserved bronze medal, being congratulated for Colombia. He's still looking pretty tired, I suppose, which is normal.
Yeah, that's right. But obviously, very fit competitor.
I think you all are, to be fair. You don't really see an unfit paddler.
The silver medalist representing Moldova.
But there again, you do lots of work, so why not? It's Oleg Tarnowski, the older brother, Sergei's older brother. And they are taking the second place. They're a really good combination, really good paddler. And then finally,
o medalhado de ouro e vencedor da Taça do Mundo,
the gold medalist and World Cup winner.
I must be so dumb. I just realised that Sebastian Brendel's not there. He was disqualified.
Oh.
So Martin Fuchs has taken the gold medal.
Oh.
Well, we'll have to figure out that one out.
Yes.
We'll let you know as soon as possible.
That's right.
But yeah, so because we actually saw the racing and.
That's right. So second across the finish line, Sebastian Brendel, but obviously disqualified.
Please rise for the national anthem of the
Have a
Czech
quick
Republic.
look, see if anyone knows.
aplauso para os medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2017.
Give a warm round of applause to the
Thank you.
2017
Martin Fuchs
World
takes
Cup
the gold
medalists.
medal. We're baffled here. We don't know why Sebastian Brendel, who second across the line, has been disqualified, but I guess we'll find out. And Oleg Tarnowski and Saul Diaz. That's why he stepped up to the mark. A bit of confusion there, but we'll find out in a minute what's actually going on. So that pretty much brings to an end the opening day of finals. Coming to you here from the Listen Live ICF from wherever you are around the world. Thanks so much for tuning in. Your feedback about how you see the disciplines, who your great stars are. It'll be lovely to hear. Tune in again, I think all afternoon, Listen Live, so you can keep, there's no events this afternoon, but you can actually watch the other ceremonies. And then tomorrow, we're actually going to have a huge program with all the top stars in lots of different events. That's going to be a lot of fun to see.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas do K1 500 metros femininos vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the women's kayak single 500 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos as medalhadas do K1 500 metros feminino.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the women's kayak single 500 meters event.
As medalhas serão entregues por Augusto Baganha, presidente do Instituto Português do Desporto e Juventude, acompanhado por John Protter, team leader da Nova Zelândia.
The medals will be presented by Augusto Baganha, president of the Portuguese Youth and Sports Institute, accompanied by John Protter, team leader for New Zealand.
E a medalhada de bronze é...
The bronze medalist representing Hungary, Kristina Fazikazur.
E a medalhada de prata é...
The silver medalist representing Slovenia, Spela Janic.
E a medalhada de ouro e vencedora da Taça do Mundo...
The gold medalist and World Cup winner representing New Zealand is Caitlin Ryan.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Nova Zelândia.
Please rise for the national anthem of New Zealand. Give a warm round of applause to the 2017 World Cup medalists.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas da C1 500 metros femininos vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the women's canoe single 500 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos as medalhadas da C1 500 metros feminino.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the women's canoe single 500 meter event.
As medalhas serão entregues por Ricardo Machado, vice-presidente da Federação Portuguesa de Canoagem, acompanhados por Zaba Utner, team leader da Hungria.
The medals will be presented by Ricardo Machado, vice president of the Portuguese Canoe Federation, accompanied by Zaba Hutner, team leader of Hungary.
E a medalhada de bronze é...
The bronze medalist representing Ukraine is Ludmila Luzan.
E a medalhada de prata é...
The silver medalist representing Hungary is Kingso Takash.
E a medalhada de ouro e a vencedora da Taça do Mundo...
The gold medalist and World Cup winner representing Hungary is Viraj Bala.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Hungria.
Please rise for the national anthem of Hungary.
Vosso aplauso aos medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2017.
Give a warm round of applause to the 2017 World Cup medalists.
of Colombia, please come to the competition committee. Team leader of Colombia, please come to the competition committee. Team leader of Slovakia, please come to the competition committee. Team leader of Slovakia, please come to the competition committee.
Это 56 минут или 46 минут.
Grita, grita.
They look ready. Yeah, let's go.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas do K2 500 metros masculinos vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the men's K2 500 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados do K2 500 metros masculinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medals for the men's K2 500 meter event.
As medalhas serão entregues por Vítor Félix, presidente da Federação Portuguesa de Canoagem, acompanhado por Yuri Shaban, team leader da Ucrânia.
The medals will be presented by Victor Felix, president of the Portuguese Canoe Federation, accompanied by Yuri Chaban, team leader of Ukraine.
E os medalhados de bronze são
The bronze medalists from Spain, Albert Marti and Pelayo Rosa.
E os medalhados de prata são
The silver medalists representing Hungary, Zoltán Kamara and Mark Bartfalvi.
E os medalhados de ouro e vencedores da Taça do Mundo,
the gold medalists and World Cup winners representing Ukraine, Ivan Semykin and Igor Trunov.
Fred, diz adeus. Diz adeus agora, Fred. Diz adeus. Espera aí, diz adeus para ali.
por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Ucrânia.
Please rise for the national anthem of Ukraine.
O vosso aplauso aos medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2017.
Give a warm round of applause to the 2017 World Cup medalists.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas do K2 1000 metros masculinos vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the men's K2 1000 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados do K2 1000 metros masculinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's K2 1000 meter event.
As medalhas serão entregues por Tiago Brandão Rodrigues, Ministro da Educação, acompanhado por Yuri Shaban, Team Leader da Ucrânia.
The medals will be presented by Tiago Brandua Rodrigues, Minister of Education, accompanied by Yuri Chaban, Team Leader of Ukraine.
E os medalhados de bronze são...
The bronze medalists from Finland, Jeremy Hakala and Mika Naikinen.
E os medalhados de prata são...
The silver medalists representing Hungary, David Toth and Tamas Kulifai.
E os medalhados de ouro e vencedores da Taça do Mundo...
The gold medalists and World Cup winners representing Ukraine are Vitaly Tsurkan and Ole Kukarik.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Ucrânia.
Please rise for the national anthem of Ukraine.
vosso aplauso aos medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2017.
Give a warm round of applause to the 2017 World Cup medalists.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas da C2 1000 metros masculinos vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the men's C2 1000 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados da C2 1000 metros masculinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's C2 1000 meters event.
As medalhas serão entregues por José Perurenha, presidente da Federação Internacional de Canoagem, acompanhado por Yofniel Sanchez, team leader de Cuba.
The medals will be presented by José Pereira, president of the International Canoe Federation, accompanied by Yofniel Sanchez, team leader of Cuba.
E os medalhados de bronze são...
The bronze medalists representing Spain, Mohsin Mutahir and Gonzalo Martin.
E os medalhados de prata são...
The silver medalists representing Ukraine, Dmytro Yanchuk and Taras Mischuk.
E os medalhados de ouro e vencedores da Taça do Mundo...
The gold medalists and World Cup winners representing Cuba, Sergei Torres and Fernando Jorge.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional de Cuba.
Please rise for the national anthem of Cuba.
Vosso aplauso aos medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2017.
Give a warm round of applause to the 2017 World Cup medalists.
E terminadas as cerimónias de entrega de medalhas, teremos uma breve pausa de meia hora para o início das semifinais dos 200 metros, com início ao meio-dia e 45, primeira semifinal, o K1 200 metros feminino. Regressamos então daqui a sensivelmente 30 minutos.
Well, we'll be back in 25 minutes or so for the women's C1 200-meter semi-finals, the men's K1 200-meter semi-finals, women's K2 500-meter semi-finals, and men's K1 500-meter semi-finals. So, go and have a short break, put some more sun cream on, and we'll see you shortly.